game, this one. He'd be the championship leader now on points. He really has had regular front-running pace, Reading. Those 2 rounds in particular, though, and a couple of missed opportunities elsewhere as well, ruling him out of the running for the championship. He's 3rd in the standings.
Just looking outside our commentary box window on the front row of the grid, Jonathan Ray's teammate Alex Lowes is out there, so he's going to be there to give Jonathan a little bit of his perspective about what it is right now. As it is, the rain is coming down heavier and heavier as Toprak Razgatlioglu leaves the pits to make his way to the grid.
In the build-up to this round, in the build-up to this race, everyone was talking about there must be one final sting in the tail for this championship. It's been such a legendary campaign. It would be unusual, it would be unfitting for it to go out on a whimper with Toprak finishing 1st today and Jonathan Ray finishing 3rd and the championship all settled. Doesn't look like it's going out on a whimper to me. This is going to be bravery at its greatest as far as the World Championship decider is concerned. Took the championship lead, did Toprak Razgatlioglu, this man. Ray is the rider who trails in points. He's 30 down on Toprak Razgatlioglu, and he is a wet weather specialist. He performs well in these conditions. Toprak, throughout his superbike career, when the weather has been like this, think back to wet weather races even earlier on this campaign, didn't have the headline results that he's had in other circumstances, but also because the possibility for more riders to get into the mix at the head of the field is that much greater. Think about Michael van der Mark and what he was able to do in Portugal. Think about Tati Mercado. He always goes well in the wet. The number of riders who could get in between Ray and Razgatlioglu will increase exponentially with wet weather. But I must say, Steve, the amount of rain that's coming down now makes me doubt whether we will even be able to start this race at the planned time, which may mean a bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card potentially for Toprak Razgatlioglu, because the visibility there is not going to be good enough to go racing, surely.
Yeah, that's biblical rain at this stage, and certainly you're going to expect to see the start delayed for these riders. You can see out of our box again, Michael van der Mark's running off the grid. Quite a few people making their exits from the grid now as well, and you can see as Toprak makes his way to the grid, just these conditions aren't going to be possible to start the race on time.
Yes, I think that was almost foretold, wasn't it? That was an inevitability, because once we saw the rain coming down, the spray in these kind of conditions would be impossible to ride unless you hit the front. So Razgatlioglu with a little bit of pre-race acrobatics to scale the pit wall, and can now make his way back into the garage, which means we can continue to build up what is going to be a fascinating World Championship encounter. This man, Jonathan Ray, the reigning world champion, that's the visibility that we're talking about there.
Yeah, absolutely nothing out there right now for these riders, and certainly a bit too dangerous to be going out on this track, especially considering that they haven't been out in wet conditions at any stage here in Mandalika. So a real challenge for everyone, and the right decision being made there by the organisers.
Everyone making their way back to the pit boxes. We saw this for the support class, the Asia